Hi everyone, welcome back once again to Signify Actual Speaking. I am Jennifer Clyde. It is super wonderful to have you back. Today it's time for lesson 48 and we'll talk about regrets. Having regrets I think is a very sad thing, but we all have regrets, don't we? I have my regrets, not just one, but I do have a number of regrets. I often wish I had done things differently. I often wish I hadn't done things, and sometimes I wish I had done things. What about you? What kind of regrets do you have? You know, there is even a saying, there's no use crying over spilt milk. But I think otherwise. I think even if you do have regrets, even if you did something wrong, you could always at least try to fix it, right? So let's talk about all the different ways we can approach the topic regrets. Are you ready? Let's get started. So here we are, ready to begin today's first segment, which happens to be warm-up. Let's brainstorm with the 5 W's and how questions. So here we go with the first W, who. So ask yourself this question, whose life are you living? Now you may wonder, what does that question mean? Simply put, whose life are you living? Meaning, are you living the life that you wanted to live? So the focus is right here. Are you satisfied with your life? Are you happy with your life? Have you made your own decisions for yourself in life? Oftentimes, some people say, whose life are you living? They often say, well, I think I'm living my parents' life. What does that mean? It means that basically they are doing things or they have done things that their parents wanted them to do. So I hope that you are living your lives, not somebody else's, but your lives. Anyhow, ask yourself that question. Moving on. What are your biggest regrets in life? So think about your biggest regrets, the greatest regrets, and talk about what they are. What do you wish you had done differently? So as I did mention earlier in the very beginning of our show, of our lesson today, there are things that you regret because you wish you had done it differently, okay? So think about what you wish you had done differently. Moving on to our next question. What are some of the things, not just one but a few, you've been neglecting to do? What is neglect? Often parents neglect their children. You can neglect a person or a thing. It means not pay attention to, sometimes ignore, okay? So what are some of the things that you've been neglecting to do, kind of ignoring, leaving to the side, okay? So what are they? Also, what are some of your could'ves, should'ves, and would'ves, okay? So what are these? Could have, with an S. Often you think to yourself, 뭐뭐 했을 걸, 뭐뭐 할 걸, 뭐뭐 하지 말았을 걸. Very similarly, what are your could'ves? Oh, I could have done this. I should have done this. Oh, I would have done this. Okay, so we're talking about regrets. Or what about this? What ifs? We did take a look at what ifs before. So if you say, what if I did this? What if I hadn't done this? So think about these. And also, if onlys. If only I had done this. If only I hadn't done this. Okay? So focus on these keywords here and ask yourself, what are some of your could'ves, should'ves, would'ves, what ifs, or if onlys? Okay? Okay, moving on. What personal advice would you give to teenagers about life and regrets? So as an adult, if you had the chance to, give teenagers maybe a lecture or even just a short talk about life and regrets, what kind of advice would you give them? Now, also moving on to when, our next category. Since when did you have your biggest regrets? Remember, you mentioned what your biggest regrets in life were. So think about since when you have those regrets. And then, when in your lifetime meaning since you were born up until this point in life, when in your lifetime do you wish you could return to in order to fix things, in order to change things, or fix things? So when in your lifetime? Was it perhaps when you were a teenager? You can perhaps say, yes, I would like to return to my teenage years to change things, to fix things. I wish I could return to 2 years ago to change things. So focus on when it is in your lifetime that you would love to return to make changes. Now, where do you find yourself in terms of having regrets on a scale of 1 to 10? So this question may sound or look very, very difficult, but to simplify it, it basically means where do you find yourself in terms of having regrets on a scale of 1 to 10? Simply it means, do you have many regrets or just a few? So how many regrets do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10 regrets? Okay, so think about that. Why didn't you do things differently when you had the chance? Why didn't you do things differently? Why didn't you try to change things, fix things back then? Focus on why. Also, why don't you have any regrets in life? Some people don't regret anything in life. They're happy with their decisions. They're happy and they don't have regrets. So if you don't have any regrets, well, ask yourself, why don't you have any regrets in life? Also, our last category, how? How do you live your life? Especially if you don't have any regrets. Yeah, let us know. Talk about how you live your life. How it is that you live your life so that you don't have any regrets, okay? And then moving on to our final how question. How did you or how do you make the important decisions in life? Now, yes, in life, we constantly make decisions. We have to make decisions. It's a constant decision-making process. So how did you in the past and how do you in the present make important decisions for your life, for yourself? So think about these questions with these brainstorming cues and let's move on. Let's take a listen to a conversation between Rachel and Peter. Here we go.
Hey, Peter. Looking back, do you have any regrets in life?
No, absolutely not.
Wow. I don't think I've met many people who have said that.
Well, I mean, we all have things we might want to change if we knew what would happen in the future.
Right.
But hindsight is 20/20, and only hindsight is 20/20 because we have future knowledge. And without that future, before we had that future knowledge, we made the best decision we could at the time,
right,
based on what facts we had or what things we knew about each individual situation. If we go around second guessing what decisions we made when we know we tried to make the best decision at the time, we'll live our life full of woulda, coulda, shouldas.
That's true.
And then have regrets and then think about the past rather than living in the present and for the future.
Yeah, that's actually really encouraging because I think many people kind of beat themselves down thinking about the regrets, what they could have done. That if you think about it in that way, it kind of gives you a new perspective on life, to just live in the present, live for the future.
Yeah, you got to forget the past, let it go and move on.
That's true.
Do you have any major regrets in life?
Well, after you say that, I was thinking about this because now that I'm getting married, I was thinking,
is there you regret getting married?
No, not at all. But just thinking is there anything that I wanted to do that I might not be able to do when I get married because of time constraints or starting a family and things like that. But I think when I look back in the past, what I wish I could have done more was spend time with my family a lot more, especially living so far away from them now, and then going on to the next chapter of getting married with someone else. I realized, I will never be able to spend that alone time with my family.
But you'll be able to spend it with him and your family.
Exactly. So new memories with my family.
Well, let's go make some new memories.
Today's actual talk wasn't that difficult, was it? Okay, basically, Rachel and Peter were talking about regrets in their lives. Now, Rachel did mention something about getting married. She's planning on getting married very, very soon, and she thought about her regrets. And I think she's worried about, regretting having not spent more time with family. And of course, what did Peter say? He said he doesn't have any regrets. So let's check it out. Here we go. Rachel says, looking back. Okay, looking back, meaning looking back into the past. Okay, do you have any regrets in life? And Peter says, no, absolutely not. So he's stressing it. He could simply say, no, I don't have any regrets. But he says completely, no, without a doubt, absolutely not. Very lucky guy. Okay, Rachel says, wow, I don't think I've met many people who have said that. So she's saying that she has not. Okay, I don't think I've met many people who have said that. Okay, who have said that. That meaning, no, absolutely not. I do not have any regrets. Now, Peter explains, he says, well, we all have things we might want to change, okay, if we knew what would happen in the future. So he's talking about the possibilities. He's saying, people, you and me, everyone, we might have things we want to change, but that is if we knew what would happen in the future. But we all don't know what's going to happen in the future, right? And then he talks about hindsight. Now, he says, but hindsight is 20/20. Remember, 20/20, we talked about this while we were talking about the topic vision, right? Eyesight. 20/20 is close to perfect vision, okay? If you have very good eyesight, you would say, I have 20/20 vision. But he says, hindsight is 20/20. Hindsight, what is it? We all know what sight is, what we see, right? Hind is back. So basically, hindsight is 20/20 means, you know what happened after it happened 100%, but that is after it already happened. So hindsight is 20/20 because we have future knowledge. And he says, and we made the best decision we could at that time, okay? At that time, based on what facts we had, or what things we knew. So he's saying back then, back at the time that we had to make the decision, we had no knowledge of what was going to happen in the future. So we had to make the best decision we could at the time based on the facts we had, what we knew, and of course the things we knew. Okay. So if we go around second guessing what decisions we made, we'll live our life full of woulda, coulda, shouldas. So here it is. I explained to you. So he's saying if we go around second guessing, what is second guessing? Now, if you second guess something, you are not quite sure about it. You basically are predicting something. You don't know for sure, but you think, maybe this is going to happen, but you're not sure. So when you predict something, you are second guessing something. So if you keep on second guessing, if you keep on predicting, things about your decisions, then you'll live your life. You'll constantly think about woulda, coulda, and shouldas. In other words, you'll continuously regret things. Moving on, he says, and then have regrets, right? You will have regrets and think about the past. And only the past. That's true. Once you start thinking about your regrets, you blame yourself. You think about, I should have done this, I should have done that. You cannot stop thinking about the past. Now, Rachel says, I think many people beat themselves up. Now, this is an idiomatic expression. Beat oneself up. Basically, now imagine you beat someone. It means to hit someone, right? Usually, you're being violent against someone, but you beat yourself up. It means you're blaming yourself. Oh, why did I do this? You're hitting yourself and you're blaming yourself. You're criticizing yourself for actions, okay? So I think many people beat themselves up, blame themselves, thinking about their regrets. But if you think about it that way, meaning that way, the way that Peter has mentioned, it gives a new perspective on life, which is live in the present and live for the future. So basically what she is saying is, if you start worrying about the problems, if you start to think about your regrets and the coulda, woulda, and shouldas, you're only going to live in the past. So we all should live in the present now and also live for the future. Think about the future. Okay, moving on. Now Peter says, you've got to forget the past. Forget about the past. Forget about your regrets. Forget about your mistakes. Let it go. Okay, let it go is what? Just release it. Let it go. Let go of it. And he says, and move on, meaning continue on. Live your life. Move on with your life. And then, of course, yes, do you have any major regrets in life? Let's say what Rachel said. She said, well, that said, meaning since we're talking about the topic, she was thinking about that she's getting married, okay? This is just a joke between them, but he says, oh, you're regretting getting married? And then she says, no, not at all. Of course, it was a joke. Now she gets to the point, she says, just thinking, oh, is there anything that I wanted to do, okay, that I might not be able to do when I get married? So she's thinking, is there anything I could have done that I can't do in the future when I get married? And then she gets to the point where she says, I wish I could have done more, okay, and which was spend time with my family. I've realized, I will never be able to spend that alone time with my family. Remember, we took a look at alone time. Alone itself means time to yourself, by yourself, with no one around, just by yourself. But she said, I will never be able to spend that alone time with my family. So she's saying, really valuable time with my family after I get married. And he says, but you'll be able to spend it, meaning the time, with him and your family. So yeah, Rachel agrees. Exactly. So she's thinking on the right side, new memories with my family. So I guess on the bright side, with family meaning, of course, her family plus another person, which would happen to be her husband. Okay, that was today's actual talk, everyone. Take a listen to it one more time.
Hey, Peter, looking back, do you have any regrets in life?
No, absolutely not.
Wow, I don't think I've met people who have said that.
Well, I mean, we all have things we might want to change if we knew what would happen in the future.
Right.
But hindsight is 20/20, and only hindsight is 20/20 because we have future knowledge. And without that future, before we had that future knowledge, we made the best decision we could at the time,
Right.
based on what facts we had or what things we knew about each individual situation. If we go around second guessing what decisions we made when we tried to make the best decision at the time, we'll live our life full of woulda, coulda, shouldas.
That's true.
And then have regrets and then think about the past rather than living
In the
in the present and for the future.
Yeah, that's actually really encouraging because I think many people kind of beat themselves down thinking about the regrets, what they could have done. But if you think about it in that way, it kind of gives you a new perspective on life, to just live in the present for the future.
Yeah, you got to forget the past, let it go, and move on.
That's true.
Do you have any major regrets in life?
Well, after you say that, I was thinking about this because now that I'm getting married, I was thinking, is there...
You're regretting getting married?
No, not at all.
Just kidding.
Just thinking like, is there anything that I wanted to do that I might not be able to do when I get married because of time constraints, starting a family and things like that. But I think when I look back in the past, what I wish I could have done more was spend time with my family a lot more, especially living so far away from them now, and then going on to the next chapter of getting married with someone else. I realized, oh, I will never be able to spend that alone time with my family.
But you'll be able to spend it with him and your family.
Exactly. So new memories with my family.
Well, let's go make some new memories.
Now let's take you to actual talk expressions, everyone. Basically, today what I have ready for you are examples of things that people generally regret in life. I did a whole bunch of research on the net, and I did take a look at maybe the top 25 things that people regret, so I've included that in today's lecture. The point is, pay attention to the patterns that you use, okay? So these are ways to talk about the regrets in life. You can say, romance, education, business, or anything is a big area of regret for me. So if you regret something that is about romance or education, business, family, and if those regrets are the biggest, you can say A, B, C is a big area of regret for me, okay? And then you can get to the details. Looking back, this was in the dialogue, looking back, thinking back in the past, I wish I had spent more time with my loved ones, okay? Looking back, I wish I had, or you can say hadn't as well. So you can say in retrospect, once again, in retrospect also means to look back in the past, okay? In retrospect, I wish I had made better choices, smarter choices, better choices. If I can turn back the clock. Now, turn back the clock. It means if I can go back to the past, right? Turn back the clock meaning turn it backwards, back into the past. If I can turn back time, if I can turn back the clock, I would study harder and follow my dreams. If I could do something, I would, and then verb form, okay? Moving on. Now let's move on to I regret. Now I regret having worked so much at the expense of something. In this case, we're saying at the expense of my family. It means that you did not pay attention to your family, okay? You're risking that at the expense of. So this sentence means, I regret that I didn't pay attention to my family, and all I did was work, work, and work, okay? Now, another one, I regret having worried so much about what others thought about me. I think often, we are afraid to do something, or we try not to do something, even if we want to do it, because we often think about what others might think about us, right? So you could say that, I regret having worried so much about what others thought about me. Another one, I regret living the life that my parents want me to live. This was one of our 5W questions. Who? I asked you, who life are you living? Are you living the life that you want to live? So perhaps if you did everything your parents told you to do, you could say this, I regret living the life that my parents wanted me to live. Okay, let's take a look at the form or the pattern I regret. For example, you can talk about what you regret in the past by keeping this form, regret plus ing form. So basically refers to something that one is sorry one did. So you're regretting something that you did in the past. Let's take a look at a sample sentence. You can say, I regret leaving school at 15. Then you can add the details. It was a huge mistake, okay? Or also, similarly, you can say, I regret having left. Same thing, I regret leaving, or I regret having left school at 15. So keep these patterns in mind. Regret plus the ing form means that you regret something in the past, something that you did in the past. What about this one? Now, regret in the present, okay? This means regret plus infinitive. Now, this is used mostly in announcements of not good news, but bad news. Here are a few examples. Now, you might hear somewhere, we regret to inform everyone that tonight's concert has been cancelled. Now, this is an announcement, announcing bad news, right? So pay attention to the pattern, regret plus infinitive. We regret to inform everyone that tonight's concert has been cancelled. What about this? I regret to say, okay, I regret to say that I'm unable to help you. So in these cases or these instances, you are not sorry for what you did or didn't do. You are not regretting it. You are saying, I am sorry. My apologies, okay? All right, moving on. Let's try using I wish, okay? I wish I had told my boss off, okay? Even if it cost me my job, meaning told my boss off, perhaps yelled at him, got angry at him, was honest with him. Why don't you do this? Why am I always wrong? So you're basically regretting that I wish I had done something or hadn't done something. I wish I had stayed in touch with good friends or good friends from my childhood. You're talking about I wish I had, so you're regretting what you didn't do. Another one, I wish I was strong enough to stand up to bullies in school. So oftentimes we see on television in the news days how children are bullied by bullies. So yeah, if you think to yourself, gosh, I should have been stronger, okay? You can say, I wish I was strong enough to stand up to bullies. Fight against them, fight them. And moving on to if only. If only, remember? If only I hadn't broken up with my true love. How many of you regret this? I'm sure there are at least 90% of you out there saying, yeah, I thought that. If only I hadn't broken up with my true love. So you are regretting something. If only, okay? If only I had been a little more patient with him or her. If only. We're talking about regretting things. Now what about what if or if I could so-and-so? Now let's take a look. I always wonder, I always wonder, what if I had more confidence in myself? What if I was more confident about myself? Or I always wonder, what if I trusted my instincts? Okay, moving on to, I always wonder, what if I had tried out for it? Given it a shot. What if I did that? At least I would have no regrets about not having tried. So oftentimes people say, hey, what's there to lose? Give it a shot. Of course, you'll at least know that you tried, even if you don't have good results. So I think it's better to try, even if it does not go well, than to not try at all. All right, moving on. If I could turn back time, okay, meaning if I could go back into the past, I would apply for that dream job I always wanted. So if, let's take a look, if I could do something, I would do something, okay? So keep that pattern in mind. If I could turn back time, I would so-and-so. Okay, we do have few more. So if I could go back in time as one, if I could turn back time, or if I could go back in time, I would spend more time with my parents. And this is something that I often tell myself. I should have spent more time with my parents. Moving on, let's say our last category. I hate myself for something. Now this is, of course, a way to express strong regrets. If you really, really regret something, seriously, completely, you can say, oh, I hate myself for doing something. So you can say, I hate myself for letting my marriage break down, letting something happen, okay? I hate myself for not correcting. I hate myself for ignoring those little things along the way. This is something I found on the net, actually. People blame themselves. They regret letting their marriage break down, and then after the divorce, they think, yeah, those were the little things. I should have paid more attention to the little signs, and I regret. I wish I had. I hate myself for ignoring those little things along the way, okay? All right, and there is one last one. I hate myself for giving up. so easily. Okay, so as you may notice, I hate myself for doing something is also in the form of ing. Okay, everyone, I hope you don't have many regrets in life, but the next time you talk about having regrets, you can make use of these patterns. Okay, that is a wrap for today's actual talk expressions. Okay, everyone, it is now time for another breather. Yes, we all need a breather, don't we? So take a break, relax as I introduce today's idiom. Today's idiom is to kick oneself. Of course, we kick someone or something with our feet. 발로벌을 걷어찰 때 kick something이라고 하는 발길질하다. To kick something or someone, but this idiom means something different. To kick oneself. Okay, here is a sentence. So try to figure out what it means. Sue is kicking herself for not preparing for the exam. Give you some more information. She failed the exam, so she's kicking herself for not studying or preparing for the exam. Do you have an idea? Okay, here is the definition. To kick oneself in Korean means 한탄하다. 그냥 후회하는 게 아니죠. 내가 왜 그랬을까? You're constantly blaming yourself. So the definition is to deeply regret doing something. Okay, deeply regret having done something. So regret for something you did, or even if you missed an opportunity for something, yeah, you can kick yourself for missing that great opportunity. Here is another sample sentence. I've been kicking myself all day for drinking so much last night. For example, you have a good time with your friends, colleagues, you drink and drink and drink, and of course you're feeling good, but the next day you regret it so much. You want to hit yourself. So you regret it strongly, very deeply. You can say, I want to kick myself for doing ing something, okay? So keep that in mind. So today's idiom once again is to kick oneself.
Looking back upon your life, what are some of your regrets? What are some things you wish you had done differently?
I think it is not good for us to regret about our future, our past events, because I think it is not worthwhile for us to think about our past events again and again. And if I have to pick one of my regrets, I regret that I didn't many books in my student days, in the middle and high schools. So because reading books gives people insights to see the world and consider their lives. So if I read many books in my student days, it would be great for me to think about my future and my life, and it would be helpful whenever I make a decision.
And that was today's actual interview, everyone. 이영훈님, 멋진 인터뷰 고맙습니다. Now, what did he say? I think he's got a very similar mindset as Peter. Remember, Peter says he has no regrets in life, right? He says, what's the point of regretting things? You know, live in the present. Forget about things. Let it go and move on. And Yeonnim also said that. You know, he said it's not good to think about the past and your regrets. Well, let's check it out. Here are a few great points that he made. Now, he did say, I think it's not good for us to regret about our past events. Oftentimes, I would say it would have been better without the about, okay? But I did include it because that is what he said. I think it's not good for us to regret our past events. You could also say, I don't think it's good for us to regret our past events. So keep in mind, omitting that would actually be better, okay? I think it's not good for us, or even more naturally, I don't think it's good for us to regret our past events, okay? Wonderful job. Another one. He said, I think it's not worthwhile for us to think about our past events again and again. Basically, this is exactly what he said. So number one and number two are the same thing, but he did word it differently. He said, I think it is not, also you can flip it around, I don't think it is good. I think it is not worthwhile. Great word, okay? Worthwhile basically means beneficial, helpful. So he's saying, I don't think it's helpful. I don't think it's beneficial. I don't think it's worthwhile. In other words, it's a waste of time for us to think about our past events again and again. 생각을 또 하고 또 하고 또 하고. Okay, again and again. So great point there. You can also say, I don't think it is worthwhile for us to think about our past events again and again. A few oopsies here. Okay, let's take a look. He says, I regret that I didn't many books. Something is missing, right? Okay, in my students' days, that part looks awkward to me. In middle and high schools, he's added an S there. So can you guess what we have to do? Okay, let's check out the corrections. Now, you can say, I regret that I didn't read many books. That's right, the verb is missing there. In my students, okay, no S, or school days. And you can also say middle and high school, okay? So when you're talking about elementary, middle, and high school, now, keep in mind, you would not add an S there, okay? So it's always in middle and high school, okay? And also, now, the verb is needed, and also in my student days, in my school days. So keep that in mind. And our next oopsie is this. Now, take a look. It would be helpful whenever I made a decision. Now, what seems awkward here? He's talking about what it would be like in the future, right? It would be helpful whenever I made the tense. So here you're talking about what it would be like in the future, and then once again, he's taking it back into the past. The tense is totally different. So what you could have done is, it would be helpful when I make a decision in the future, or you could say, it would have been helpful whenever I made a decision. So in this sentence, you are regretting something of the past. It would have been helpful. It would have been helpful in the past whenever I made a decision. So the tense is very, very important. And last but not least, you could also say, it would have been helpful whenever I had to make a decision. Okay. So one more time, I do stress that tense is very, very important. If you take a look once again, it would be 앞으로 있을 일에 대해서 얘기하다가 I made 다시 과거로 들어간 거죠. So tense is very important. Keep it the same. Okay, that is a wrap for today's actual interview. Well, everyone, today's topic was regrets. That's right. Now, I do hope that you don't beat yourselves up for doing something or not doing something, or also, I hope you don't kick yourself for doing something or not doing something. Please do keep those idiomatic expressions in mind and use them in the future. Next time, we'll talk about another interesting topic. I'll be back with the topic culture shock. Now, culture shock is something that we don't only feel in a foreign country, but it's rather something we feel in a foreign atmosphere, at a new job, perhaps, for example. So that is to come next time. Please do join me again next time. And in the meantime, please do visit us at www.edse.co.kr and leave me a question, comment, anything. Just look forward to Nico actual speaking. Well, all right, that is all for today. I'll catch you again next time. Bye, everyone.